Hi, beautiful Gemini. Welcome to a new era. My name is Emma. Gemini, this is your monthly read for September, rather mid-September until mid-October, give or take. And we're going to start with an undercurrent, like an overall energy that is sort of the mattress, the undercurrent for your message. And then we're going to get all the cards out on the table and really get into the message. At the very end of this reading, we're going to allow the angels to come in and see if they want to have any addition to the reading. Like, if there's anything extra that they want you to know. I also want to tell you that I now offer personal readings. So if you're interested in that, I'm really excited about it. Go read about it in the description box. To get your own personal reading. Gemini, what is going on? September until October. It really takes this time to shuffle here for the perfect card to come out. Gemini. There you go. The same one as Taurus. So if you have a Taurus placement, if you're even like Taurus Sun and you're here to check out your Gemini Moon or something like that, or your Taurus Rising, or you just have strong Taurus in your chart, I would probably go check that reading out, since this is the fundamental energy. It's the underlying, it's not just any card that's coming out. It's the undercurrent of everything for the month of September and October. So if you have some sort of a connection there with Taurus, maybe you want to check it out. This is just such a gorgeous energy. This is good fortune, invite magic in. It talks about being in alignment. It talks about being, like, I see some worrisome clouds, like there's some worrisome clouds right next to this alignment, and like there's a lot of stuff going on around this alignment. So it's so interesting because it's like it's the I never learned what it's called, like when there's a storm around the calm of the eye, the center of the eye, the center of the storm, the eye of the storm, something like that. You know how there's the tornado, like a storm is like when you sort of tap into the storm of it, it's just chaotic. It's just chaos. And then at the very center, the very eye of the storm, it's just complete calmness. It's just quiet. And it's like there's something about either we're going to get into the energy here. Either you're learning about staying centered even though, or it's like you are practicing feeling this calm, feeling the calmness in spite of things going on around you. Or this is actually how you feel. You just feel really centered and really aligned, even though there's like a whole bunch going on around you. So we are going to go into this energy and see exactly what's going on there. Getting all the cards out on the table. For Gemini, please. There you go. What is going on for Gemini, please? Feels like there's one more. Eight of Raphael. Crossing the bridge to the other side. There's something better waiting there for you. And then Five of Ariel, which is basically talking about you don't have to go on this journey alone. Like this journey that you're setting out on, you don't have to walk it alone. Just feel like there's like one more card, yes. Solutions, number 14. And it's interesting because yesterday when I was recording the Taurus reading, we have 13 coming out, and 13 really representing that day, because we had the day when I'm recording this is the 13th of September. And today we have solutions, which is 14. And today when I'm recording it's the 14th of September. So it's a big correlation with the days. So one should never promise, but I would almost promise that obviously that's going to come down to your own energy. Like, where are you at in your energy in accordance, in a relationship with everything you want, everything, where you're headed. Like, where are you in a relationship to that? Are you like completely way off, like feeling like you're just such a far away from getting what you want? Or do you feel like, oh, you're like just on the brink of it, like you just feel it in your every fiber in your being? Obviously that's going to determine that's what's so beautiful with our own creative power, that it really does not matter what's going on around you, because once you settle into that creative power, it doesn't really matter. It's like up to you. Having that said, because we had 13 yesterday, because we have 14 here today, I can almost say like whatever's coming out here is happening mid-September until mid-October. Like that is the time frame. Then I usually just say give or take. And obviously it comes down to your energy. But yeah, there is something really like in alignment with the timing of it, of the recordings. Okay? Excuse me. Why are these cards here? We're going to get into the messages. Don't worry that I just sort of run by them. Why are these cards here? What do you want to tell? Ooh, spiritual union. And then the deck just really does not want to... Okay, there's one card that really wants to come out. Emotional withdrawal. Okay. Okay, they want me to flip this... I do apologize. A little doggy who's no longer with us has chewed on this a bit. I don't want to throw it away. It didn't even flip. It sort of had me go even look for it. So it wants to show its face. It doesn't belong on the table, but it's sort of almost like a flipping situation. So we have emotional withdrawal there. So maybe you felt for a long time that you have been disconnected in hermit mode. You know, hermit mode can feel really, really beautiful and really like you're just on your own journey right now. You're just in that quiet moment where you are contemplating things. This just wants to show up. And it's another number 8 there. So there's 2 indications of 2 8s, which is really powerful. Okay. What else for Gemini? Clarifying this message, please. Wow. And then we have another number 5. So we have 8 and 5, and 8 and 5 again, and we have 18. We also have the shadow card, number 18 there, with the throat chakra, number 5, together with spiritual union. Okay, so we're going to get into this message. So remember, we have this as an undercurrent, and no matter what's going on in your surrounding, nothing's too big that it can't be changed. Just to have that sort of in your backbone, like nothing's too big that it can't be changed, or no dream is too big to dream or too big to materialize. No troublesome clouds like is just, you know, it can try to bring it down as much as it wants. It doesn't matter. For the longest time I had this saying, which I then switched because I was so tired of the saying that I kept repeating because I kept manifesting it. So my saying was, you can sit in the minefield and still feel centered, still feel at peace. That just made me create like this minefield, like it was like a war zone around me in any type of situation. Like that would go on around me, and I would just sort of take pride in me still keeping my center and still like not being affected or have reactions to what was going on around me. That is just what's going on around me. It has nothing to do with me. Like I'm not going to react to that because I don't want to allow that into my center. So the eye of the storm there again, sort of type of feeling. But then it was like, why do I want to create a war zone? Like, yeah, okay, it's really nice to know that I can create whatever I want, even though things are looking really crazy around me. And understand that it's out of your control what's going on around you, but it's also full control what you are doing with what's going on around you. Like, how much do you react to it? How important are you making someone's choices or someone's reactions or someone's thoughts or someone's words to you? Or how much does it influence what your bank account is saying or your health? I know these are tough things to sort of get over and come into alignment with. So it's really nice when you do. But there's easier ways. So instead of saying like I can create like peace wherever I go, or like that's much better actually. I can create peace wherever I go. But my saying was I can find peace even in the midst of a minefield. I can find peace. Well, I don't want to, because I don't want to be in a minefield. So even in ease, I can create peace. That rhymed. Even in ease, even with ease, I can create peace. I think so many people are thinking that like unless it's like something really heavy going on, it's not worth it, or something like it has to be really hard for it to come. You know, if there's any, we have all these expressions, if there's any worthwhile, you know, it's going to take time, and it might be, you know, blood, sweat, and tears. And why? Does it have to be blood, sweat, and tears? Why not ease, smooth, and candy? Like, why not? Okay, there's something here saying it doesn't matter it doesn't matter the surrounding. You're practicing keeping that alignment. You're practicing keeping your reactions to yourself. Does that make sense? Like, people aren't always going to behave in the way that they're going to behave, and it's up to you to react to your own truth. And you might think that if you don't go at them, or if you don't react in a particular way towards certain people, if you don't take care of certain things, like we need to sort this out, or we need to address this, we need to focus on this, I need to speak up on this. Not doing that, we think that they might come after us, or something even worse is going to happen, or if you just let it lay there, it's just going to explode. You know, you need to address it. But the opposite is going to happen. The smaller, you can't say that. The lesser you focus on it, the more it's going to disappear. And yeah, it takes some practicing, but you're doing it. You're changing something here. This is talking about, like Ada Raphael, this is coming into your power, coming into your strength, and becoming whole. Really healing, like healing on a deeper level. And you're being sort of offered this new bridge. Like there's a bridge to the other side, not the other side, but to something new, to choose something new. And on that other side, there's so much more of what you want. And it's interesting because in order to switch over to okay, so here's what I want to say. We think that getting over to the other side, things are going to get so beautiful and great and rich and powerful and, you know, all that. But it's interesting because you sort of have to become all of those things on this side of the bridge before you can even cross over. Does that make sense? It's like if you sit here and you feel poor and you think that the riches are on the other side of that bridge, you're never going to cross the bridge, because as long as you feel poor, you're not a match to what's on the other side of that. So it's like, first we need to practice feeling more rich, or first, and in any area, you need to practice feeling more like in love, or practice feeling more healthy, or, you know, whatever. It's to get over to the other side of this. And it seems like you're doing the deed. You're practicing, you're developing, you're expanding in the way to become this aligned being, and not care what other people think, and not react to it, and sort of release something to the past where it belongs, and just sort of never look back at it ever again. It's like you're gathering all these tools, and you have all these, you have the experience right now. You have the strength and the power to cross over. Because it takes quite the person, it takes quite the willpower to really, it takes willpower to get over to something new, to create something new. It's so easy to just continue to think the thoughts that you always thought. It's so easy to think something of someone that you always thought of them. it's hard to start to rethink something and restart something and create a new story. It's really tough to start to view a person in their light if you really have not felt really good about them for the longest time. And then all of a sudden shifting, seeing them with different eyes. It's tough. It's not done in the afternoon, you know. It takes some willpower here, but it feels like you're doing it. And for the longest time, I feel like you've walked this journey alone, and I don't care. I care a lot, but like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you even have been in relationships, if you even have been in friendships, if you have had coworkers that you are like talking to on a daily basis. There's something that has been going on in your life where you have been, like I said, even with all these people around you, you've been alone. There has been like a lonely journey here. There's something to the aloneness of this, and you're coming out of that. You're stepping out of this. Excuse me, there's a train going by. You're stepping out of the stagnation. You're stepping out of the cold. You're stepping out of even the hermit mode. Like anything that has felt like a solo journey, you're stepping out of that. And the Five of Ariel, like it is overcoming obstacles, and it is a challenging thing to do, but you're doing it. Again, you're doing it. And 5 is also a great opportunity for change. And we have 2 5s on the table. So it's like it's a big change here going on. And 5 of Ariel is talking about you don't have to walk this journey alone. This is not a lonely journey. This is whether it's for starting to attract more beautiful people that really are in alignment with your path and your passion and your truth, or if this is, inviting the the other side to just walk with you. It doesn't really matter. This is just knowing that you're not alone on this path. And then we get into the solutions. So a moment ago, if something looked really bleak, is that what it's called? Something looked really like, I don't know how to figure this one out. Like, I don't know. I don't see how this is going to work. Like, and whether that is like, you don't know where your rent money is going to come from, or you're in this relationship and for the life of you, you just don't know how to get out of it. It doesn't have to be romantic partnerships all the time. It can be, how do you sort of break up with a friend? How do you even break up with your children or with your parents? Like a roommate. If someone has been with you for quite some time and you just feel like this is just not working anymore, but you just don't see how do you get out of this? Or how do you get into this? Or how do you solve this? Like a moment ago there, we had the emotional withdrawal that sort of came out and wanted to show its face, but then it sort of doesn't want to be on the table. So it's there, but it's not so big that the energy sort of deserves its attention. But there's something there that like it has taken some emotional toll on you, and you're now coming into the solutions. You're doing the job. You're shifting. You're thinking in a way that allows for the reality to shift. You're thinking in a way that allows, or you're aligning yourself in a way that allows for the energy to shift. And so you're starting to come into the solutions. A solution doesn't necessarily, the first thing that comes to you, a solution might not be rent money in your hand, whoever has money these days, but like a solved situation for your rent. It might be that the numbers just show up on your bank account. It just might be. But getting into the solutions is more of you're starting to see, it can even be other people starting to talk about doing the exact same thing that you're just now working on and having success in that. And instead of you just thinking then, oh, I feel like I so envy them. Like, how can they? And instead saying, hey, wait a minute. That's the universe's way. Like, that's the first sort of inkling. That's the first indication that I'm on my path here. that is actually, it's not showing up for me, but there's a mirror, there's a projection going on out there showing me I'm not too far off, you know? So like celebrate if you see the thing that you're trying to achieve, if you start to see those things around you, even though it doesn't directly affect you, even if it's on television, you're choosing a movie, and out of all the movies you could have chosen, there's the thing that you're working on, and they're sort of living what you want to live. Just don't like brush it off as, oh, it's just a silly movie, and what if I was in that position? Well, that was the universe's way to say you're in the solutions now. Thoughts start to come to you, ideas start to come. There's small indications, and it doesn't even have to be the thing you're trying to solve is coming into solutions. It can just be your ordinary signs. Like if you see feathers, when you know you're on the right track, you start to see feathers, and feathers start to show up. Just know that even though it's not directly linked to the very thing you're trying to solve, the universe, your angels, your guides are trying to say, hey, you're on the right path here. You're in the solutions. And 14, because we had such a strong like connection to today's date as well, it's a strong new, and I just realized, so I started this new channel. You can read about it also in the description box, on Buy Me a Coffee, that I'm calling my True North, which is about guidance, really finding your true north, your true potential, your new north. And I post daily energy forecasts there, and weekly and monthly as well, but I haven't gotten that far yet. And there's going to be a bunch of other stuff there as well. So I'm just plugging that right now. But what I want to say is that I just realized that today's date, that the energy in that today's daily forecast is just all about the heart. Is the heart expanding? The heart is feeling charged up, and the heart is like going on a journey right now. And 14 is that it's a new beginning for the heart. It's a strong new beginning for the heart. Crossing over here, getting like preparing yourself for this new adventure. Coming out and not walking this journey alone. Like it's an expansion of the heart happening here. This actually came up before these two. There's so these two I feel like are together, and this one is alone. So there's a spiritual connection there, and whether that is like because you are crossing over to something better, and we have the feeling of like you don't have to walk this journey alone, and we have a spiritual union. I feel like for the most of you, this is a really beautiful connection to spirit. It's a spiritual union with spirit, with your inner being, with your guides, with your angels, with your team, your spirit team. Coming into that alignment shifts just everything. Having that said, for some of you, this might just be because we have the cup of love there, and we have an infinity sign. I just realized, so there's another inkling of, it's the second time I use the word inkling, and I don't even think it's the correct thing to say. So I don't know if other people are using the words inkling, or you just, I don't know, inkling has come up a couple of times here now. And I don't use that, and I don't even think it's correct. Indication is what I'm trying to say. There's the third indication. We have 8, and then we had the emotional withdrawal that came out, which was an 8, and then we have 18 on the table, and we also have the infinity sign sitting on that cup, which the number 8 is. So there's a lot of power that is sort of growing in love right now. Your heart is expanding. Your love is expanding. You're coming into this beautiful place where you're starting to connect. And whether that is like on a deeper level with your spiritual like in your inner being, and that's going to like as a consequence lead to just a gorgeous new relationship. And if you're already in one, it might just be like you really are like it's a reconnection to your already partner. Like it's a strong new connection, almost like a new spark in a relationship. But for the single Gemini, this might just be the most beautiful connection you ever had. Why? Because you did the work first. You've taken care of what you sort of had to take care of first. That's what I'm saying. You can't even cross over to the other side if you're not enough of what's on the other side manifested in yourself first. You can't even cross over. So the fact that you've done the job and you're doing the job, you're putting yourself into alignment and connection with your inner being, there's going to be a connection on the outside as well. And then we have the shadow side. Like, you probably have worked a lot or still working a lot on your shadow side, meaning welcoming your not so flattering sides, accepting, respecting even the parts of you that is not that flattering or that beautiful. But also in the shadow card so much represents the understanding of, like, we're so much talking about, like, we don't want to deal with the darkness or the shadow, like, whatsoever. Some of you guys might say, yeah, I do. But most people, and definitely sort of in the spiritual community, there's so much like love and light. I don't want to put, like, I don't want to make fun of anyone, but it's like we always end with love and light, like love and light. What does it even mean? Do people even know what that includes or entails? Love and light, both of those, light is being created by minus and plus, by negative and positive. That's how we create light, okay? And then we have love. What is love? Love is the highest vibration, love and harmony rather, like it's the highest vibration that we sort of can come up to or come into or speed up to as a human being. But what does that entail? That we are living both sides. We're living both the shadow side and the light side. We're including both. And we have the throat chakra there, which speaks about authenticity and truth and realness and honesty. It's also the opposite. We have the 5 there. It's talking about coming out of something you might have hidden for a while. You might have played it small for a while. You might have just dimmed your shine for a little bit. And also having met other people, feeling like they just don't understand your full potential. Like they just don't see. It's like it just feels like maybe in the past you haven't really been able to speak your truth to people around you. But this throat chakra is also talking about being understood and being heard for who you are. And we have the spiritual union there. So there might just be someone that comes in that sort of finally gets you, that they just get what you're doing, what you're about. And I don't mean to sort of put you down in any way, but Gemini, you are a rare species. Like you are unique in so many different ways, and sometimes that can be a little bit challenging. And so finding that, it just takes that one person, like Lady Gaga said 1,000 times, when they're creating the, you probably heard it. She said, it can be 100 people in the room, but if it's just like one person, if you just have that one person trust in you or believe in you, that's all you need. And it's true. It's true. You just need that one person. If you don't have that person at all, it's quite lonely. But if you have that one person that just gets you, and we seem to be headed in that direction. And then we ask the angels, is there anything else you want to add? Inspire with? We have Isaiah. It's a good time to give birth to new ideas and situations in your life. I am watching over you, guiding you, and protecting you during these changes. So know that if you want to, excuse me, throat chakra, if you want to get out of a relationship, get out of a situation, be done with something, you're being protected and guided all through that journey. If you want to get into something, if you want to start something, if you want to go for something, change something, know that you're guided and protected. Isaiah is with you. That's what I have for you, Gemini, mid-September until mid-October. Again, if you want a personal reading, you're so welcome. Just read about it in the description box down below. Thank you so much for showing up here, for coming to watch these videos. I really appreciate it. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and maybe even consider to subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you one bit, but it really helps the channel a lot. So thank you so much for being here. Bye, guys.